Hello. I'm making these videos in an attempt to prove to you that there is a massive problem in the world. And it's bigger than you and I. It's bigger than pretty much all of world history. Because when you look at history, it's all just one big, long-running conspiracy. See, they wanted to have us say that there's conspiracy theory, but it's actually conspiracy history. Okay, starting from the beginning, when man first emerged from the caves, we had the alpha males. These were the strongest, most manipulative, most dominative people in society at the time. Now, after that, when we came out of the caves, we formed agricultural civilization. And then that's when all those weird little esoteric pyramids came up. And by the way, that there's three words that you will hear in the world: the archaic, the esoteric, and the occult. This is their religion. And I'll get into that later in another video. But at the moment, what I want to impress upon you, whoever is watching this in good old internet land, that these people, they feel that they have the right to rule. It's called divine right of power. And when we first made civilization, that was when we was sacrificing virgins, volcanoes. That's when the elite demanded the firstborn son of every family so that they could sacrifice them to the gods, you know. Well, now we're here at the present day where we got these main ruling bloodlines, and they're called like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Astors, Lees, the very rich of the rich. Because in the world geopolitical structure today, we have only about 6,000 people. 6,000 people out of a world of damn near 7 billion people now. 6,000 people who own 99.8% of all the world's wealth. Why is that? Well, you look at World War One. We have these banking families like the Rothschilds. What these guys did is they funded both sides of the war. It's like burning a candle at both ends. You know you're going to dominate it then. And then out of that, they planned to get a world government. They call it the League of Nations. Well, it was so screwed up that the world just kind of threw it out the window. So the bankers were like, oh, well, we couldn't get it then, so we'll have to have an even bigger war, an even more devastating war in order to force a world government. So we had World War II and the millions upon millions who died from there. Hitler killed 6 million, but nobody ever really questions about like how Stalin killed 25 million people. But then we got the UN out of that, and that was the skeleton of world government. What we're being forced into now, and everybody's just riding along with it because they're conditioned. And it's not your fault. It's we were all raised from childhood in the state indoctrination, and they form our beliefs and core attitudes. And hardly anybody really questions that. And I don't really blame them because that's just how they see the world. But the problem is, we're being forced into a World War III. And these people right now, in order to do that, they want to collapse the economies of all countries. That's what we're seeing in Greece right now with the riots, and then it's getting ready to happen in Spain. The bankers pretty much pillaged Iceland, but it's getting ready to happen here in the U.S. And they know that this is going to piss a lot of people off. That's why they set up this thing called the Northcom Military Industrial Complex. Whenever we get to the point where we all get pissed, the media is going to be advocating getting everybody to riot. And I find it interesting too. It's like they say the Tea Parties are the people who are causing all the problems. They're wanting to cause violence. But yet again, we have these riots by these illegal immigrants in Santa Cruz and San Francisco, and they're just going around beating people up, burning buildings down. But the media doesn't report on that because that's the new voting bloc that they're moving into the country. If they can, that's what they do in all the totalitarian regimes. When they first set them up, that's what Hitler did. And coincidentally enough, Hitler burned down the Reichstag in order so they could get power. Look at 9/11, but I won't get into that now. Those will be later videos. I'll also be getting into what Freemasonry is. Now, Masonry is a religion. I have a Freemasonic Bible. I will go through each little part of that, and it actually says in there, yeah, Masonry is a religion. And that's going to be the world religion. When you look at all the religions anyway, they're all paganism, it's sun worship, the light of God, the light of the world, it's sun worship, it's paganism. And Masonry would be the ones that bind all of those. But I'll get into that later. Now, the core principles of this elite is that they have divine right to rule. And these bloodlines, they intermarry. You look at the current structure of the world today, and you look at eugenics, and that was like 1929. Hitler got all of his ideas from the U.S. at the time, and that's why they put fluoride in our water, and which is a toxic byproduct of aluminum and fertilizer production. But see, I'm just doing a little rough rant now, just to show you where I'm at. And I've looked at all these government documents, and they are seriously contemplating on basically just clamping down on us and making us all mind-controlled slaves. But the scary thing is they're moving into what they call a 95% reduction in population levels. Ted Turner has said this, David Rockefeller has said this. This is what they want because the elite have always thought that there's too many of us. The oligarchy, a word you don't hear a lot, the people at the top, there's more of us than them, and they're afraid of that. We're waking up, and they want to shut the internet down because of info like this. So, over the course of the coming videos, I will be proving this to you if you're interested enough to click on it to see what's going on. If not, then I hope you do have a good life, but it's just going to get worse from here by design because people refuse to understand it. They refuse to accept it because it is so bad, it is so depraved and so screwed up that people don't want to believe it. And that's part of the control mechanism, that's part of conditioning. They do stuff that's so screwed up that you won't believe it. It's kind of beautiful in a very evil way. Now you look at Bohemian Grove, and these people are all into the occult. And the occult, that's three words you'll hear in the world. There's the esoteric, the arcane, and the occult. And this is a religion. This is paganism. And I will be showing this to you pretty soon. But for now, you have a happy new world order.